Ellie from Move Well with Ellie Williams, and today's blog is all about leg length discrepancy. What the heck is that? Well, let me tell you more. So, have you ever been told you have one leg longer than the other? Quite a lot of my clients have actually. The number of clients that walk in and have done over the 15 plus years I've been doing this, that have said I've got one leg longer than the other. The ones that truly have a leg length discrepancy, I could count on my hand. It wouldn't even make up the 5. It really wouldn't. There's normally something bigger picture going on to create that leg length difference. So let's go through a few things to look for, some little signs and symptoms that you might have this leg length discrepancy, and then things you can do to help get yourself out of it. So let's have a little assess of the body. So give yourself a little shake out. Have a little stand, feet about hip width apart. Don't be on best behaviour, just stand however you would normally stand. And just have a check in. First off, have a little look. Do you have one foot that feels flatter than the other? The arch is closer to the ground. And then do you have the other foot that might feel like the arch is a little bit more tighter or held up, a little bit more arch to that foot? Do you have one foot that might turn out whilst the other faces forwards? Do you have both feet that turn out or both feet that turn in? One foot that turns in whilst the other turns out? All little signs that there's something bigger going on. Do you have one knee that feels maybe a bit more bent than the other, whereas the other leg might feel a little bit more locked behind that knee? And do you have, if we look to your pelvis, put your fingers on the bony bits at the front. These are your ASIS, the bony bits. Just scoop your fingers off the edge and hook on in. And then just look and notice, does one finger feel lower than the other? So for me here, my right finger is lower than my left. This says to me that I've got a little twist going on in my pelvis. So let's think what might be going on with that. So first off, a little question. Have any of you ever had a bad sprain or an ankle injury just as it is? It could be a little sprain, it could be a boot or a cast, or perhaps you have spent some time in your youth on some of these babies, these crutches here. Now look what happens to my pelvis. As soon as I put these on, my hip drops. So my hip on the side that I'm protecting drops down. And so the hip on the left side for me has gone up. Now I've got a heck of a lot of weight going through this left hip here. And for weeks on end, it's got to get me around. So the muscles in and around this hip joint are having to tighten and compress that joint to help me move around. The body's always trying to keep us safe and keep us moving, so it will put in compensations to help us do this. But you're given the all clear and you're told you are fine now, you can ditch the crutches, you can just get on with life. But then they might measure and they might say, well actually, you've got a leg length discrepancy. You've got one leg that is longer than the other. Well, no surprise, this one's going to be shorter. It's spent weeks on end compressing because you've sent your weight that way. But ultimately, let's take a little look as to why that might have happened. So the brain's always wanting to keep you safe. It's very good at trying to keep you in your little safety zone. So when you hurt your ankle, what tends to happen is that you shift your weight the other way. Because last time you were over there, you hurt your ankle and you don't want to do it again, so you keep your weight shifted over. Now instantly, can you see how my foot starts to flatten on the right and my weight goes over to the left, and now this hip is taking a lot more than this one. Therefore, the muscles are having to work harder. And you can already imagine me with my crutches. So what do we need to do? If we've spent time getting into this position, we kind of want to get out of it. So you could start just by shifting your hips one way and the other, nudging that comfort zone, finding that little point, not into pain, but just right on the edge. And one way, and back the other. And as I shift my hips this way, I'm now encouraging the arch of my foot to lift up and opening the outside of the ankle that the brain's been trying to avoid because you hurt it when you went over on it. And then perhaps you could put some weight on it. So if you just bend into it and twist out of it, You then allow the foot to experience the flattening, but also as you twist out, that arch starts to rise and you create the arch. Also putting more effort through this hip. This one's not really doing anything. And then just have a little check in and see how that feels. Have a little see how you feel on your feet. Does the arch feel different now on that flatter foot? Does it feel the same, still down to the ground, or does it feel like it's lifted a little bit? Do you feel like your weight's a bit more even between your feet and your legs? Do you feel like if you found those ISISs, those little bony bits at the front, that actually if you hooked on in, you'd be a bit more level? It's crazy. Just doing the opposite to the position you've got stuck in helps to create balance in your body. And if you've got a balanced body, everything's a lot happier and can work more efficiently. So I hope you enjoyed that little blog. I will see you again soon. It's Ellie from Move Well with Ellie Williams. Bye.